Hi, I am Danette Bailey, and I am here to share with you the way that you can open a preschool or daycare center. I have expanded myself, and so I have lots of people asking me for videos, so I thought I'd create one for you guys. So I hope that you check this one out as well as some others that I'm making. This will not be the first one because I can't put it all in one video. I also have an ebook, so you can look for that at Danette Bailey or send me a message and I will send you information about getting that ebook as well. So the first thing I want to say is you have to make sure that you have searched for your county or your state, the website. Here in North Carolina, I am in North Carolina. It is the North Carolina DCDEE website that you would go to. But in your state, I don't know what that website would be. You could certainly try calling around some daycares and asking them, or just Googling who do I contact in my state to become a licensed daycare or licensed preschool. And, Google will help you out with that. So you want to do that because in a lot of states, it's certainly in the state of North Carolina, you actually have to attend a required meeting to get the rules, some general rules on opening your facility and before you can actually open. So you wanted to keep this in mind that you have to actually attend this meeting. Anyway, it's a good meeting to attend so that you can find out some general rules and make sure that you pick a great site and that the things that you are thinking you can do, you can actually do. So you want to attend that meeting. If you don't already have a business, for example, if you're not a family child care provider already, or you haven't been in the business a long time with someone else and you don't know, you're not familiar with the rules, then maybe plan for your budget that you will attend this meeting twice, meaning you will attend the meeting the first time to find out the general rules, and then you will attend the meeting the next time to make sure you're within that time frame that is required that you have attended the meeting before opening. And they're doing that to make sure that you're familiar with the rules, and so that's why they have that requirement that you have attended it within a certain amount of time before you open. Um, so after that, you are going to, of course, want to be looking for your site if you don't already have one. And while you're doing that, you're going to want to consult with an architect. At least here in the state of North Carolina, you can no longer submit your own plans for this facility. So you're going to have to find someone who is licensed to do that. And you will have to find an architect who will draw up these plans. And you will need architectural plans. And if you don't know what that is, I want to show you an example. I have here my plans. See, it's this big sheet here that's done by professionals on their professional grinding machines. And it's going to have their seals on it. And so that tells your state and your county that you have a qualified professional submitting these plans, which they require. But also, you will know exactly what you can do on this facility because they're going to tell you. So this consult is going to let you know, okay, you need this amount of space for parking, this amount of space indoors for however many children you are planning to be licensed for. So this is a very important meeting to have beforehand, especially if you have your eyes on a place that you're looking to purchase. Um, if you are looking to purchase a daycare center or to open a daycare center, certainly consider buying a home. That's what I did. I bought a home first. That would allow you to expand into a center. Lots of times, getting financing for a big building or commercial area is not really feasible, but this is a business that can be started out of a home and with some tweaks and some required city requirements, you could eventually make it into this commercial building that you're looking to work in. So, you can start with the home and it might be easier to get financing for that. So you're going to want to find a site. You're going to want to, number two, work with an architect to find out exactly what you need. And lots of states like North Carolina, there isn't one book that says this is everything you need and everything you can do. Unfortunately, even the book with codes, you have to be able to read that, and you have to go to Raleigh to get that. They're not going to send it to you. So you need an architect. You need to plan to spend the money to consult with them to make sure that this is something you want to do and that you can do. The architect is important because They're, like I said, they're looking on the inside and on the outside. They're going to be able to tell you where parking, how much parking you need, where parking will be, where the playground would be, how much playground you need. On the inside, there's space maybe for your kitchen or your laundry area. So that space is subtracted because children will not be in those spaces. And then they can tell you exactly how many children you can be licensed for the allotted space that's left. So you do need the architect. Also for zoning, like I said, at least in my county, I'm in Forsyth County in North Carolina, they don't allow you to submit your own plans anymore. You do have to have a professional do those for you. But you can call zoning and you can ask them what the requirements are. They will have some, not all, of those requirements on their website, where they will share, someone will talk with you on the phone and share those with you so you can get a general idea. For example, for zoning, what your zoning is, if you're residential, if you're commercial, if you need to change your zoning, more than likely you will need to change that, and if there's a possibility to do that. So please keep in mind that if you're looking to buy a home to do this, you don't want to buy in an HOA community, because the HOA is not going to allow you to have a commercial business there. Sometimes they will allow family child care providers because you license for fewer children. But if you're looking for a place that you know that you eventually want to expand, then avoid the HOA. Okay. Avoid areas that are totally residential, that if you did need to change the zoning, it's not going to get approved because, the neighbors are afraid of congestion in the area, or they're afraid of their property values going down. So just be mindful of that. The architect might be able to direct you to an agent who is experienced in that way, that could share with you some good areas. But really, I would not suggest an agent so much as I would suggest someone who's in the business already and could share with you the areas that are really good in your area. Of course, I'm in North Carolina, so I wouldn't be able to consult with you if someone's asking for, if you're in another state, because I wouldn't know what your state is like if I'm not familiar with it. But here in Forsyth County, for example, I'm very familiar with that area, so I might be able to consult you on that. So you want someone who can tell you, hey, this is an area you won't have a problem with. This is an area you might have a little problem with. And if you have lots of money to spend and lots of time, then you might be able to take that time. But if not, then you want to try to go with something that's more of a sure thing. Maybe that you've seen daycares in the area, or you've seen other businesses in the area, so that okay, this area is already has lots of businesses in it, and they will be more receiving of you. The zoning is going to require, for example, some signage for handicap parking. Have a amount of area for the playground, and so the architect is going to be able to share that with you and make sure you have that the correct amount of space, that you have the signage. Everything has to be shown on that architectural plan, and that your area will accept your business. So that's the first video, guys, that you have to go to that meeting. So in your state, find out if you have a required meeting, or if they just offer a meeting that you can go to and find out information. Then number two, you're going to want to consult with an architect and just get their ideas for the areas and what you would need if you already have a location. And if not, then the third thing you're going to want to be doing is looking for a site. Certainly, you can work with an agent, but I suggest calling someone, networking with someone that's already in the business, and getting their take on the areas that you should be looking out for, or at least the areas that you should stay away from. And then the next thing is certainly to consider that you're getting enough space. And sometimes people think they need acres and acres, and you don't. You find a 2,000 square foot house on a half an acre, and you could get started with that. You could have a daycare there. So don't think that it's just so far off, because it's not. You can do great things. I have an ebook coming out that can help you with this process in more detail. And of course, there'll be video number two in more detail. I want to make these short so that you see that you can do this, and you can figure out, okay, what's step one, what's step two, what's step three to get started on your preschool or your daycare center. if you're expanding from your childcare home, or like I said, if you are starting from scratch. Keep um, looking for the videos on my YouTube channel, subscribe and like, and then you will be notified when the videos come out. They'll be labeled for you, starting a daycare from scratch or family childcare home expansion. Okay, so you can look for those videos. But like I said, first thing first, what's your homework? You are going to call, for the state that you live in, you are going to call the agency that license family child care homes and or centers, and you're going to ask them if they have a required meeting, or a meeting that you can attend, or a book that you can purchase or get access to find out what the rules are, to find out what the different numbers of children are, that what is expected for the different amounts of children that you can have. And that's where you're starting, so you can know, I want to be licensed for 12, I want to be licensed for 30, I want to be licensed for whatever amount. They are going to be able to share that with you. That's your first. And then number two, you are looking for that architect. So network, find people who have already done this in your state and ask them for their architect, or ask them what architect they would not suggest you use. Okay, and start looking for your site. And like I said, dreaming big, you can still dream big and look for a house first. It doesn't have to be like this big commercial building. If you don't have the finances, or you don't think that you have the finances to do that. All right, look for video number two. Like and subscribe. Thank you for hanging out with me, Danette Bailey.